Welcome back to the channel. It's time to do ground school, and I'm going to show you how to cut your study time in half.
Welcome to Connect Sim, a channel dedicated to one question. Can VR Flight Sim pre-train a student for flight school? Will it make you a better pilot, faster, safer, and for less money? And will the masked aviator ever remove his VR headset?
Hey, show me in the rule book where it says I can't wear goggles while flying. Wow, there's a lot of rules in there.
After 6 months of full immersion simulation, I'm putting my life on the line to find out. Does pre-training in VR give a rookie pilot the edge? Or have I just doomed my poor CFI to an overconfident student with a head full of bad habits?
Strap in, hit subscribe as we push the limits of pilot training
On Connect Sim.
All right, so time to do ground school. We're going to do it in the air today. And we've done our run up, so let's just take off. All right, rudder. Airspeed's alive, oil pressure's good. That's 40. 50, 55, let's rotate, and we'll clean up the flaps. All right, so today we're in Cologne, Germany. I've never been to Cologne. I'm sorry if I'm butchering the pronunciation of it. Today we're here to learn about regulations, and that's basically what ground school is learning all the regulations. And there are a lot of them. So little humble brag, I'm sorry to do it, but I've been doing my ground school. I'm about 62% complete. And so far, I think the lowest quiz score I've gotten is 95%. And I attribute 100% of my success to what I'm about to show you today. So pay attention, we're going to get into it, and we're going to save you a lot of time. The one little asterisk to this tip, and the reason I say we're going to cut it in half, obviously the ACS doesn't require any kind of VR simulation to get your PPL. So anything we do in simulation is sort of bonus time. So if we can learn while we're simming, I don't think we really count that towards the learning time. So little caveat there. But anyway, so what we're doing, if you're not new to this channel, then you've probably seen every now and then when I look down here, there's this little confidence monitor I have just to make sure, you know, all my cameras are working, that I don't have boogers hanging out, that I'm still in frame, all that good stuff. You could sit and watch Netflix videos, and I'm not gonna lie, I've watched a few movies, I've watched some TV shows. It's not great. It's about a 1 hertz refresh rate. When I first set this up, very first thing I did was watch a documentary on Blue Angels, and I gotta say that was the worst way to watch that documentary. Good documentary, but you know, you don't get the action at 1 frame a second. But there's other things that you can do. So you have a lot of stuff if you want to get your PPL, a lot of stuff you want to learn. I recommend going through and reading the PHAK first. That's the Pilot's Handbook of Avionics Knowledge. I want to say, I always get it wrong. I always say something different, but they're not testing us on that. Anyway, read the PHAK. You can get it read to you. There's YouTube videos where you can have the entire video read to you. I'm not really an auditory learner. I have to read something 3 or 4 times in a book. And then I have to visualize how it's applied. And that's probably what some of this VR flight simming is a way to apply the knowledge in a visual sort of way so that I can kind of reinforce what I've learned by, you know, reading text and applying it into something that's closer to the real world than reading a book ever could be. Anyway, so the very first part, obviously, FSDesktop, you're going to need that. It's an add-on to Microsoft Flight Simulator. So all you got to do is download it, install it. The one little trick, you got to find your community folder. Your community folder is going to be different depending on whether you're going through Steam like I am, or if you're directly from the Microsoft Store. Depending on how you installed your copy of Flight Simulator, it's going to change how you install it. So once you have FSDesktop installed, you just run the client on your computer, and then you're able to tap into any screen that you have available. Anyway, so when you go to your window picker, you have all these options, basically every window that you have open. And so I'm going to select YouTube. All right, so we're in YouTube, and there's a lot of different content that I think is valuable. There's what's called a check ride. If you're going for your PPL, your final test basically is what's called a check ride. And you're going to sit down, and it's going to be a 2-hour oral examination from your DPE, your designated pilot examiner. They're going to quiz you on all sorts of things that's in the ACS to make sure that you have a good working understanding of how these things operate, and also that you're able to consider the right things to maintain safety, that you're following regulations, all these things that they're going to test you on. It's an enormous amount of information that they can test you on, and you'll have 2 hours that you go through it all. So when I was first looking at, the requirements to get a pilot's license, and you're trying to figure out what does that actually look like, what's great, they have all these mock check rides online. You can just watch dozens of them. So you can literally sit down and watch tens or hundreds of hours of people going through these check rides with actual DPEs doing exactly what they would do during a real check ride. And not only does it give you the information in a way that feels relevant, just the way they examine you, they give you scenarios that you got to work through. So that makes the information that you have to learn feel relevant, but also because you're watching a real student pilot going through a mock check ride, it gives you a sense of confidence that, at least I have this, and hopefully it pans out. When I sit down across a DPE, I'm not going to be sweating bullets like, what are they going to ask me? What could come up? I mean, there's going to be curveballs for sure, but my sense of like, what is the experience like? I feel very confident that I have an understanding of what that is. So I want to show you one check ride, and I've cleared this video with the owners of the video. It's through Gold Seal. They do ground school. And I just want to show you what I typically do during days that I'm not recording for YouTube. I'm basically flying and watching some sort of content to help me learn more about aviation. And I swear I'm not just sitting and watching Netflix. Let's make it a little bigger so we can see what's going on here. Okay, so we got a big screen. We can see what they're talking about. We have subtitles on. I have my keyboard handy. So one cool thing is it allows you to pause and play the video. So it's saying, what do I know about Class B airspace? So sometimes you can pause it and see if you can answer it yourself. So what do I know about Class B airspace? I know that you have to be cleared to go into Class B. They have to say you are cleared to enter Bravo airspace. I also know that within what they call the Mode C veil, which is 30 nautical miles of the airport, whether you're in Class B or not, you need to have ADS-B out, and you need a Mode C transponder. And a Mode C transponder encodes your altimeter, so you need an encoding altimeter, which goes into your transponder, which then gives your squawk code, and it also gives your altitude. So these are all things I know from reading the book, from watching these mock check rides, but let's see what his answer is and see how it lines up.
The busiest airspace is in terms of going in and out of the airports.
Busiest airspace, yep.
You require
Class A is anything over 18,000. They require clearance, yep.
Typically about 30 miles out, which is the big magenta circle there.
30 miles out, he's talking about the Mode C veil.
ADS V out turned on.
You need ADS-B out turned on, yeah. So one really cool thing about this sort of training method is you kind of have to split your focus. Like right now I'm focused on flying the plane and watching the video. And obviously you don't want to be watching video while you're flying a real plane, but you're going to have a lot of different things that are vying for your attention. So the ability to split that attention, I think, is an invaluable thing. All right, so we'll pause there and we'll see. So you're saying you're flying an airplane into Class B. Basically, what's your speed limit? So I believe he's about to say, I've watched this already, sorry. I believe he's about to say that 200 knots is your limit. Actually, I can see that by the subtitles. One little bit of nuance I think he's missing on here is that the Class B airspace speed limit is 250 knots. However, if you're in a VFR corridor, 200 knots is your limit. So obviously, if you're a PPL pilot, you don't have your instruments ratings, you're going to be in a VFR corridor. Therefore, your limit is 200. So I think he's right. I think there's some more nuance there, but...
So stay under 200 in the Piper. Don't go over 200. What if I get into the Bravo? What's the airspeed?
In a Piper Warrior, it doesn't matter what type of plane I'm flying.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what kind of
just what
plane
is
I'm
it?
flying.
Okay, it'll be 250.
Very
250.
good.
There
Okay.
it is. So he's got that
All right, so
bit of nuance.
let's
So that's how to
go
cut your
to
ground
the
school time in
next
half.
interface.
It's
Let's talk
absolutely
about,
my favorite tip on how to do this. It's really been invaluable for me, and I think it's helped me learn not just rote memorization, but really how to apply these regulations into real life. So go ahead and download FSDesktop. It's not super expensive. It's like 15 bucks. I'm not getting paid by them. This is not an advertisement. It's just something I found that works really, really well. So anyway, if you got anything from this video, hit like and subscribe, and follow along as I go from VR to PPL to instrument rating and beyond. See you in the next one.